Hello everyone, I am Palpatine001 aka Sanj, and we are back with City Skylines 2 2.2 transit checks. Yes, those transit checks. As you can see, the city has grown very quickly to 27,500, which means we're well overdue for some good old-fashioned transit checks. As you can see, we've got a few problems in play that we need to get on top of quickly. Transit's one, I'll get to that in a minute. Unemployment being the other, which causes their mass migration back out, which really clogs the system, and extraordinarily high demand right across the board. But before we can even start getting a new commercial and office, which will be done in 3.0, preparing the city centre, which has got its basic foundations in place, we need to, like we did in the 1.x series, get all the localized stuff set up. We've got to do it the same in 3.x, lining up the local stuff to bring the city centre fully online. At the same time, I am contemplating and in concurrent, because of industry being just off the charts in of itself, opening up ironically, a coal and another ore mine here, and then get some supporting industry going in and around it. That will probably be done in 4.x, and get a rail terminal out here. So as you can see, the trains are just absolutely, the intercity services are just getting absolutely whacked. So we could also do that as well, and if necessary start pulling back into here. So that's what we're doing with 3.x, bringing the city centre online, which will certainly sort out the residential and the office and commercial problems, but it won't sort the industrial problems as we need to get bring more industry online. If we take a quick look at the production, so we're producing money. Okay, see, livestock needs to be brought online. Coal we're not producing, and oil we're not producing, so we need to bring those online. Oh, okay. Minerals were actually okay, so it's coal we just need to bring through. Petrochemicals, that's handled through grain and oil. That tells me the automotive factory is going to do absolutely squat bringing that online. Beverage factory we should already have going, and we do. Even bringing pay, so none of the signature industries are actually going to technically work in this instance. So it would be just the normal zoned industry. Yeah, paper factory, that's going to be no good. That might do just to kick it up a little bit more, and plus you get some of the bonuses out of that. Chemical factory, yes. Fuel plant probably more so, and that relies on grain, so I need to set it up in their farming. And then the big oil refinery, that comes much later. So probably the chemical factory, the fuel plant would be the next one to bring online in 4.x. Remember, going back into the production, we are petrochemicals. It's a bit of an irony, that one, and I'll show you why. I'll just slap it in and take it back out. So I'll slap down the oil refinery, the chemical plant, and the fuel plant. Each is unique in of itself. Technically they would all be one big mega complex. Typically I do stick them together. The fuel plant, I need to bring them online. Fuel plant technically needs grain, then which produces the petrochemicals. The chemical plant requires minerals and crude oil, and this one is just straight crude oil. So if I was to look into where my resources are, we've got ore here, so definitely get settle in for coal for now, because it needs steel. We're building, we need steel for our buildings, especially our high density buildings. Oil, we could do a small amount. We do have grain, but that's we're showing up livestock problems at the moment. So that would be a big. I would do grain elsewhere. So it could be a good place actually to drop the fuel plant in here, because it's close to the city. Although I'd be more tempted to. Oh, we could drop it anywhere in here actually. And then oil. There's some oil there, so but the majority of it is actually more out this way towards the edge. So that's where I would drop the oil industry. Plus the pollution goes out the other way as well. Just got to bear in mind that. Livestock can go anywhere. Sorry, that's industry. So livestock can go anywhere. So I don't need to worry about fertile ground. But it will probably be prudent to start getting in. Yeah, they're calling for more livestock, so prudent to start. That would be cute, but it's too small. Getting some more in, so I could just about set up Old McDonald's farm anywhere. Yeah, all surplus except grain is also in slight deficit as well. So bundle those two together. So the fuel plant would come in quite handy actually. So we'll work it out. Anyway, I digress. This is 2.2, not 3.x or 4.x. So 2.2 is our transit checks. Because basically, if you look at this, is all the people moving in, and it's over. If I showed with the train, overwhelming our transit services as well. This is everyone moving in because I had just built these to try and get on top of it. Well, that's not working. So we need to get on top of our transit services, because if we look at our transit, it's becoming a bit of a victim of its own success. Look at the numbers we're moving. Utilization has fallen back a bit on Kaimai line. It's okay. It's more move in, because I've only just recently opened this all up. It's more move in, or as I bring the metro online, more will happen. Manukau Ranges to Wiri Town, so that is starting to struggle. Anything over 50% is going to struggle, so we need to look at that in here. The shuttle, which is basically running between the harbour, the rail station, and through here, is also struggling a bit. And I'm just wondering, I mentioned in the last video, if we build a bridge over, this might solve half the problem if it's this lot trying to get over, because it's a primarily low rent estate, so of course they're going to want your transit, but it also, as a result, getting pretty backed up as well. Yeah, I think this is a lot of people still moving in, which always causes congestion. And when you've still got zero, in other words, they've still got to be backfilled, it's going to cause a bit of a it always causes fun for me trying to work out, because then the traffic drops away. Wrong one. So yep, Wiri Town, which is the blue, and I believe the blue is going countenance. Yeah, going counter, so that's not surprising. That's the quieter one. Yeah, because that feeds in. That's going that way. Whereas the yellow, that's at 71%, so he is also beginning to struggle, and I've got to find out where primarily they're coming from. Yeah. So they're coming in from here. And then as we carry on, we drop down into the trains. Yep, this is some of the highest I've ever had my trains. These are starting to really struggle. These are intercity lines, but they're also acting as commuter lines as well. So by bringing on, say, the metro, I'm probably going to drop intercity here and put that back to commuter, and open up another one down here, so we've got an actual proper commuter line. So your only intercity would be here and here, The rest is commuter. In fact, if anything, I could also start dropping intercity out of here entirely and put it back up here with the blue, leaving these free for commuter services, which would probably be a better idea. So if you're intercity, you come up to here, a station that's designed to handle it, and start using your metro to come back down. If necessary, I can also use intercity buses. We don't have trams yet, and subway we're in the middle of building. Cruise ship, unusually high. A lot of people coming in and out. So that is where we are currently at with the transit checks. I will increase that and also increase that slightly. Get him under control. I don't think I can do much else with the rest. We need full-blown... I think he's maxed out. Yeah, full-blown upgrades to get on top of this. So, what I have been doing in the background is I've been preparing the metro line that will cover Manukau Kaimai Valley, capture the high density stuff. So the buses are in here, the subway's down here, joins up with the metro station to capture both sides. It will then link up with the rail station here. So yes, we are duplicating services somewhat, but it also gives redundancy capacity. Especially when your trains are running absolutely flat out. We will then continue to bring that line and join it up with another one, and then it basically will flow up into here with the city centre. I'll also have another subway line come down in here, where they'll merge back somewhere up in here, and then we will decide what to do with them from here. And as you see, I've got the subway station laid down. The second line I'm looking at opening is probably going to be in here, so tuck this somewhere in here. Basically follow it out. Probably bring it across slightly. Run another one in here, and is it going to allow me to do it? Yes, it is. It's a low density business, so that's perfectly fine. What's it selling? Convenience food, Macca's in other words, petrochemicals. Some boom, 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 boom. The only problem is dropping it in here is they look at all this. They're moving away because of this is absolutely nuts. If I drop underground, where's that subway? Oh, it's right there. So the only problem is by dropping it in here, is you risk everyone crossing the road. What I could do is just button they could all stop in here, which could bung up the lines, and then I just tease them out again, and then just run them in parallel. So we've got two lines to do. Started the first one. Let's get going, and let me just finish, bring it online, tongue twisted, connect it up across under the river, and we'll continue on from there. looks like we've picked up a bug, so I'm going to have to do those without going in parallel. That's a bit... Oh, that's a bit of a shame. It's okay. We'll continue on lining these up because we might as well prepare for the city centre, and I'll also extend the tram down into Manukau Ranges as well. Now, if you're wondering, are they all going to start crossing the road? They're going to anyway, so it's a case of, in the end, it's not going to really matter. Where's that other train station? Right down there. Let's do that again. We should say 180. What would happen if I zoomed in? And we'll be able to actually bring the subway line online immediately. Actually, if I bring him, I'm just, yeah, the merging of two subway stations is not going to be pretty, but I don't want them all, again, I don't want them all crossing the road, because that will become a very busy station. So it just might become a somewhat of a deliberate choke point. Oops, helps if I zoom in. Okay, these should all be running. They are. I've got to go. I was going to say, since when do they? Okay, and then what we will do is I'll connect them up here first. Would help if I get the right one. Where's that subway line? All the way over there. Drop it down. And what we'll do is just connect him up. What I'll do is oops, that wasn't meant to happen. Come on. Try that again. Go one way in that direction. Yeah, a bit of a drop in the other. So that allows him to form up, and then I've got to go and connect all these respective lines together. Best go straight on that and angle it over. Okay. Normally what you can do is this can form a run through, so we'll try and okay, this is probably it's gonna do that because it's too steeper of an angle. Okay, so what we need to do is get a little bit creative. Drop it down and hopefully that's still, yep, and then where is 0 me? Make sure they're all fine. Yep, so we've got a connection there. So basically bring him out. So it's stitching a puzzle together. Got to do it. Actually better go top side, wrong way. Yep, it's done that. And then we can 0 meters. Ha! Because it's right on the cliff side. Let's see if I can angle that around a bit. Yep, just forms up the curves. And probably a bit of a bump there, but whatever. Okay, so the subway station's all connected up, and it's connected up via road 2. So we've connected one side. I need to bring on the second one. Buses I'm not going to alter for the moment, and I don't think I'm going to bring online a tram. So yeah, we've got a subway station. He's going out there, and this is obviously running a little bit funky. Being the ultimate word. Okay, so we'll keep the buses. Yeah. We'll keep the buses in play because I'm just going to alter the bus routes ever so slightly. If you wonder what's going to happen, they just rebuild. And that should conclude that one out. That should slow down. Although if I really wanted to, I could bring in one more. I don't think these are 4. They'll just shift over. Yeah, when I usually take out a puck, it says I'll replace it, and then what I can also do, just to be consistent or be fair, is it's going to demolish the other one anyway, so probably not. So just put in something very Yeah, very small and very cute. So it's been replaced, and if I really wanted to be dogmatic about it, if the design part was coming out, yeah, there's more than one way to skin that cat. So, yeah, need not worry. Drop back down to 17.5, get this going again. As I mentioned earlier, the bus will still stay here as well, but then eventually what I will do is, because it forms a bit of redundancy, it also forms localized services as well, because it goes bus, light rail, metro, heavy rail, and if this was City Skylines one, monorail, in terms of how long it should be, and also in terms of stopping distances. So bus stops are short, metro is a lot longer, because you're trying to get the efficiencies of rail. That is actually super tempting to do, because we have got such high density and such high movement in here. Capturing this on a metro line before feeding into the station would be somewhat... I'm just trying to figure out which side to put it on too. That side. Okay, it's going to knock him out. Which is like whoop-de-doo. Again, they rebuild. Wrong one. Might help if I had the right one. So whoop. Now that's a bit of a... bit of a dog leg, that one. That's gonna really dog leg around. What are we at? 17.5. What are you lot all having a snotty at? Is that one deeper down? It is too. That technically actually helps. Oh, no, let's try and bend that out a little bit. No, try that again. Okay, so potential bottleneck that metros move very fast. Okay, so now what I need to go back and do is now go and just make sure the subway stations are done correctly. Okay, one. Trust me, they get snotty without their food. See, the buses will still serve the school area because I haven't got one in there. But there's also a unit... Ha! That could end up being tragic. that could also have me removing the roundabout later on. That's on that side of the road. The university's across this side of the road. That could end up, and it's roundabouts either side. That could end up being a pile of fun. Although that said, the university isn't particularly busy at the moment, so we'll see if I come to regret that decision later. That's been done. That's been done, and I think these are all dual stations, so I don't need to worry. Oh, one more down here. Yay. That covers the metro there. I'm not going to send the metro across the water in that direction. I've got heavy rail that does that. So let's line these up. And get these cracking. And then we'll just keep an eye on the buses on the other side and to see what we need to do there. So this is the first one. Oops, I took the line out. Okay, start laying the routes. Oh, and I'll take out the intercity at Kaimai Valley and reroute him. And Wiri Town, and they can actually start backtracking. Because it's starting to cause major problems now. And I'll put in an intercity bus to compensate. This could also mean eliminating the need for the shuttle, although that also serves another part. So this captures the high density area, the bus runs down the main street. Not quite. Okay, now we backtrack. We'll bring both subway stations online, and then I'll take the intercity out before if it does start getting really bad, I can I could put the metro on the other side of the road and just run it in parallel, because we have got it there, and we just have to put up and crossing the road. Oh, I haven't completed that side yet, so I can't even, just as well, doing transit checks on the fly. Some of these stops might be a little bit redundant right now, because I haven't built the city, like things like the city centre yet. But as it's coming in 3.x, this is trying to get your transit ahead of the curve. So we'll keep them as parallel as long as possible. And then bring them in towards the end. Right, next one, and then I'll name these, then I'll redo the intercity. Either this is going to help, or this is just going to make the problem a bucket load worse. Good thing about running parallel lines between high density places is you actually get double bang for your buck without congesting the lines. Something the tram and bus lines face, but heavy rail metro do not. That one can continue to be extended if need be, because that can go places I've got for this. Industry often forgotten about in transit schemes. I don't. I usually try and get it serviced as best as I can, while still remembering about some simple economics of supply and demand. I must say though, even though Wiri is a bit of a Manukau Ranges is a bit of a victim of its own success per se at the moment, with everyone trying to move in. It's a good problem to have rather than have everything built in. It's like nobody wants to come to your city, and it's like, oh, well that stinks. So good problem to have. It's just one I just need to be on top of. That's all. Subway. Again, original names. Okay, and we'll just set up the carriages in that. Don't think we need that many. What do we got? 6 segments at 840. Might actually hold that there and keep it at 7. And yeah, 4 segments. Oops. Okay, that captures that. So that's them online. Right, let's knock out these intercities. They are now they've done their job in getting the first residents in. They are now causing more problems than what they're worth. That's one out. Okay, now I am he's already running up and over, so he should now be running around, and that frees the commuter line for me to bring in the first commuter services. So I won't touch the buses yet until we know what effect this has had. In the meantime, what we need to do is I'm just going to open up 4.x a little bit early and 3.x a little bit early as well, just to set it up, because we still have huge unemployment problems and still a big housing shortage. So I need to set them up so we're ready to go. Okay, we've basically set ourselves up, Huntley, little mining and power station town with the coal mines and that. So I've got a couple of coal mines ready to go, and we'll establish some residential on that on the way out. And we've also got a neat little train station here that we will line up commuter services for. In this case, likely to go out into this direction. We've also placed a cargo terminal here as well to bring stuff up, because over here is the oil fields as well, which we can also establish in 4.0, 4.x. So yeah, we've got a little oil, couple of oil fields in here, and then we can start establishing the bigger stuff up in the ranges and that, where, or up in the plateaus where that stuff belongs. Now, if we're wondering about intercity traffic, they come in and they would take the metro down. That said, and I would do it, is create an intercity bus service, not to there, but more to here. Oh, what have I got? And we'll just quickly what happens if I put in capitals? And then we can enter. Not a bus, that is a coach, so we'll start with that. So that's ready to go in 4.x, get a little town, and also we'll have some establishing, and we'll widen some of the industry out here as well. So we'll like get some industry put in, as well as the residential itself flowing back around. Next major residential area, because we have got the railway, because we've got up here, still plenty of spaces, places to establish the industry, which will continue need to be done. Still looking for where to put in the paper and the vehicle factories. Could actually put them up here, and you just start railing everything in and out without a problem. Although the paper factory actually, it depends. I could also establish it out here on a point as well. It just all depends, but you've just got to watch out for where the cargo lines are. Can also establish it up here too. Plenty of places to do it. As for city centre, I think the best way to get that going is to mark we are getting ready to do it. Put him down. Get the big boy out. And I mean the big boy of big boys. And what was his? And that is its complementary. You can see you got a lot of the big. Oh, has he got a helipad on top? Huh. And then you got this big boy as well. That's interesting, never. I'll just demolish that again. Yep, okay. No, he doesn't. So, do these guys have helipads? That would be really fascinating if they did. So as I said, we start establishing these up, and then these towers have absolutely nothing on. Absolutely nothing on that, so it's like absolutely huge those towers. And that's got the helipad, so of course that's going to... Of course it's going to stink out. This is just establishing this all up. I don't think I've got... This, you would go jump straight into that kind of stuff because of this, the absolute... And then... Where's the high school? Of course, it's got all the universities in that. I just dropped. Whew, that can be built elsewhere. That just sets them up. And one thing I was missing, colleges are huge. That would prove rather interesting. But that said, I might be... Oh. Gee, nope. And then go back to in here. Huh. Ooh, that's a solder. But we'll drop the community college in here. In fact, probably nice to sit in there, and the university I will worry a little bit about later. Ah, no extensions required. Ooh, that's a big boy. Okay, so it's all set up. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how quickly that fills up. Just like that. Already slating some of the demand right off the bat. Commercial. Oh, these are all the big leisure. Yeah, you got to really sort... Might actually shoot northeast for... No, I need something a bit bigger than that. didn't take the name. I was just going to say should the district, and there goes residential. Yes, it did. Would help if I also, that road needs to actually be technically finished. Okay. Let's just quickly. Finish this. A water tower in here. Ah, the main line. Look at that, filling up, so that will that's going to cater for residential for quite a long time. And that will slowly get there. Just make sure this is... Yep, these are the new... it's just them finishing off. And away we go again. Oh, look at that, filled up, so residential demand is going to crater up again. Oh, look at that. Into the subway they go. Oh, that's got everything. Yeah, it's still complaining about housing. Which is what we're going to do in 3.0, because 3.x. We've completed the transit checks. Coal should be online. Yep, fully employed. If I really wanted to be nice, I would. Chuck in some industry, get that going. Housing's a huge problem, but with 2.2 complete and basically the transit itself now aligning itself a little bit better. Yeah, all calmed down. Still, this is probably still going to need tram lines in the end, although we'll see how the metro handles this. I thought, oh, mono. That's absolutely going. But it could be the point we could even need an airport sooner rather than later, just to put in some more trains to get it going. Budget's definitely fine. Envy of the world. Trams is coming shortly, and the metro system is settling down, and it is going to take the load very nicely. So our transit checks are in place. So that's 2.2 complete. Next up is 3.x, and that is setting up the city centre ready to go. This will take a lot of the residential, will knock out a lot of the demand that is in the industrial, so all the residential, because what we're going to do, this is where all your high density stuff sits. So over here will be on this side will all be North American, although I think that is an EU signature set for the moment, because I just needed something just to get it under control if I really wanted to be pedantic. Take that offline. What I could also do is, and that's got a tram line sitting on it too, so you build that back slightly. But if I really wanted to be pedantic, okay, there you go there, and just to make sure we're all happy, There's your North American set, and that will just completely fill up in an absolute few moments. But we need to prep it all up and get it ready to go. Oh, it has got a helipad. Huh. So that is where we are with 2.2. Transit checks, we're basically ready to go and get ready for the next round of development, which is 3.x, which is the city centre. Got the foundations laid down, including a couple of signature towers to get us all going. And they're going to fill up fast too on the way out. And then in 4.0 we will, which will be somewhat in parallel, we'll jump over to this site and get some more industry set up, because industry demand is still very high at the moment. It's going to be, because you need to sort out the production. But otherwise, I think we've... Ooh, population boom underway again. There goes the traffic congestion for a while. But otherwise, I think we're doing okay. Slowly lowering. As more industry and that gets built, more commercial gets built, that will slowly get under control. And we'll get all these guys into jobs. Hopefully, well-paying jobs. Oof. Hopefully with the removal of the metro, this will get better. Are they starting to... Yep, they're just starting to come in now as the metro starts working. Nice. In the meantime, I'm Palpatine001 aka the Senate. This was 2.2, doing the transit checks and bringing the 2 metro lines online, and we will be back with 3.x, preparing the city centre, ready to let it do its business and hopefully get the demand under control.